Kicking off my list as, in my opinion, the worst film of 2023, You People, a Netflix adaptation of what just seems like a sorry excuse for a money cash grab. Now, you think with a cast like this, starring Eddie Murphy and Jonah Hill as this kind of potential father son duo in the future, that something would happen in this movie, but it just plummets to its own death as this movie goes on. I really thought I would enjoy this movie once it was announced and once it came out. I had high expectations, preferably not that high, but kind of mid. It didn't live up to the expectations for me, and for that reason, it comes in last place at number 35. For 34, Candy Cane Lane, a Amazon exclusive movie starring Eddie Murphy once again. And look, I'm not trying to deliberately just trash Eddie Murphy's movies, but this year, of both the movies I've seen of him from both You People and Candy Cane Lane, both of them just did not hit for me. They were both terrible, and Candy Cane Lane kind of suffers from the same aspect, where this movie just seems like a desperate cash grab. I don't understand how they could have gone wrong with this. It honestly feels like a Jingle All the Way kind of ripoff from the 1996 movie starring Arnold Schwarzenegger. I really couldn't sympathize with this movie. I couldn't connect with it. Therefore, unfortunately, it comes in at number 34, second worst movie of 2023 in my opinion. Number 33 is easily my worst Bollywood movie of 2023, a Shah Rukh Khan-led movie called Donkey. Look, this movie was just tonally all over the place, and that's what drags it almost all the way to the bottom of my 2023 list. Except for the fact it has one good song, and in the case of literally any Bollywood movie, a good song could save your movie. However, in a movie like this, the song was good and everything else was bad. Now, the person I went to watch this with, a friend of mine, he and I were just questioning at the end of 2.5 hours, what was the point of this story? It was just one huge retcon. Honestly, if you want to see a bit more of an in-depth review, go watch the shorts. It'll probably be in the link of this video. And I'm just going to move on. Number 32 for me is The Kill Room, starring Uma Thurman and Samuel L. Jackson, and also this guy. But he wasn't in the movie for very long. So, this is an interesting story because originally, this released in cinemas, but only in the US. Now, I live in the UK, so I had to wait for this movie to come on Amazon Prime. I was really excited for this movie, and I had mid to high expectations. And again, this movie just didn't live up to it. If you like heist movies, then I probably would recommend you go watch this based on your own preference. However, I just don't recommend it. I didn't like this movie. Again, it suffers from just a lack of tonal shift, and that's why it's number 32. Number 31 for me is Murder Mystery 2, a sequel set directly after the first, only available on Netflix. And this one was just what I see as another desperate sequel, just looking to make money. Adam Sandler and Jennifer Aniston, they work very well together. I will not deny that. I loved Just Go With It, another classic one of their movies. I did like Murder Mystery a little. However, that was just close to the bottom for me. And then this came along, and this was just a useless sequel that it's just another cash grab in my opinion. It takes away from the charm in the first movie, and the new characters really just don't hit. Honestly, it's a lackluster kind of sequel, and it's here at 31. Moving into our top 30, Heart of Stone, a Netflix spy thriller starring Gal Gadot, Jamie Dornan, and Alia Bhatt. Now, this movie had potential to be a good one. However, the ending is what drags it down. I won't spoil anything. Just be prepared for a very lackluster one. But what I will say is, the reason this movie barely makes it out of the bottom is because of Jamie Dornan's portrayal of Parker. Now, again, it's a spoiler-free kind of thing, but he's what saved this movie for me from being in absolute trash. it's still a relatively terrible movie in my opinion. Now, I will recommend it if you like spy thrillers. By all means, it's based on preference. And that's where it comes in at number 30. Number 29 for me, Longest Third Date. A Netflix movie slash rom-com slash documentary, which, okay, look, the reason it's so low on my list is because going into this, I thought it was a movie. Even judging by all the trailers, it looked like a movie. And I was literally sat there half an hour in and I thought to myself, this kind of looks like a game show mixed in with a documentary. Lo and behold, I literally paused the movie, went on Google, searched it up, and it says documentary. The trailers are highly misleading for this movie. Well, if you want to call it that. And this is the reason it's so low. It was just boring. It was bland, in my opinion. I don't like documentaries. I really thought this was a movie. I wasn't going to place this on my list. It would have been completely erased from here. However, it would be enjoyable because I have a soft spot for rom-coms. So that's why it comes in at number 29. Number 28, a Disney live-action adaptation, and many people know I don't like them, and once again, this is another one that didn't live up to my standards. The Little Mermaid. Now, again, this is a movie that was, yes, it was released in cinemas. However, I waited for it to come on streaming, and I streamed it on Disney+. Now, with Disney, live action is really not my thing. I just believe that most of the movies that Disney makes are left better as animated movies. For example, The Lion King or Little Mermaid. The one that I've actually liked is Aladdin. However, Will Smith kind of saves that movie, and that's the only good thing about that movie, but that's a conversation for another day. Now, this movie just purely suffered from too many musical numbers, and it's really not a good idea to have Disney movies that require a lot of characters, like Lion King, for example. Everyone's a lion, and like, you can't really animate features onto a real life animal. So Sebastian, the bird, or no, Sebastian is the crab and Scuttle is the bird. They really don't show any sort of emotion purely because they're real animals, and in the live action, you can't animate them. Now, that's not my only nitpick. The Halle Berry, Haley, I don't really know how you pronounce that name. She was a decent Ariel. Melissa McCarthy as Ursula kind of saved the movie and it dragged it up. However, this movie, once again, it was just boring. Well, good at best. Number 27, Jawan. Another Bollywood movie led by Shah Rukh Khan. And this is a movie where he plays a double role as both father and son. Now, again, this is another movie where released in cinemas. However, I waited for it to come on Netflix this time. I know there are many movies where I've waited for it to come out of cinemas and onto some sort of streaming service. If you don't like that, I do apologize. However, we're here to talk about the movie, and this movie was just, in 2 words, I could just sum it up as senseless violence. I enjoy violent movies, I will admit. I love me a bit of Deadpool or Punisher or Daredevil. Not the movies, the series specifically. However, this was just character introductions being over the top. Then again, you could say that about any Bollywood movie being over the top. However, the way it has to mix in him potentially becoming a father and the father losing his memory and then somehow regaining it, and one-shot action pieces that just take way too long, and a worse for wear villain. It's too much to cram into, well, close to 3 hours of a movie, and it is now number 27. 26, Your Christmas or Mine 2. A Christmas-based sequel from a previous year's movie that, again, released on Amazon Prime, another streaming service, exclusive kind of movie, where this movie, it wasn't as good as the first one, but then again, the first one, if I had to give the first one a star rating, it would probably be 3.5 stars. This movie was just simply maybe 2.5 stars. It was just predictable at best, and the characters were just terrible at some points. It really makes you question relationships at points. It's a near 2 hour film, and this was just one where it's another lackluster one. Now, would I recommend it on a casual viewing? Absolutely not. It's one of those rom-coms that just fall flat. Would I recommend it as a Christmas movie? As a last resort, yes, probably. But it's only come in at number 26. Number 25, Rocky and Rani Ki Prem Kahani, a Bollywood movie where a friend of mine had actually recommended this. And she went to see this movie in cinemas 4 times. Now, I will admit, if I like a movie, I will go watch it more than once. My record is Avengers Endgame, admittedly. I went to watch that movie 6 times. You didn't hear that wrong. I went to watch the movie 6 times for the hype, for the nostalgia, for it all. However, with this movie, I genuinely don't see how someone could see this movie more than twice. First time viewing, I really didn't like this movie. Now, I saw it again. I did see this movie twice to think maybe I just didn't pick up on details, or maybe the movie isn't as bad as I first thought it was. However, it is as terrible as I make it out to be. I wouldn't recommend it. However, if you like rom-coms, maybe go for it. And again, songs have saved this movie from oblivion, and it comes in at number 25. 24, we have a Ghost, another Netflix movie starring David Harbour and Anthony Mackie. Now, this movie, originally when it came out, got absolutely terrible reviews from everyone. People were telling me left, right, and centre not to see this movie. However, I chose to give it a chance and go against everyone's wishes. Now, was I a little disappointed? Yes. Is it a mediocre film? To some extent, also yes, but it could be seen as fun. Maybe not as a family-friendly movie, but if you have older kids, maybe it would be a good idea to let them watch this. Now, the basic premise of this movie, really, it does sit well with me, despite negative reviews. Having an A-list actor like David Harbour in the movie, it puts your movie up. However, when he's portraying a ghost that can't talk, it really drags it down. Although, what I will say saves this movie is its ending. A heartfelt goodbye to a ghost, where it ties up loose ends. Count me in. I thought this movie was pretty damn great, and it's number 24. 23, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Christmas Cabin Fever, another animated Diary of a Wimpy Kid movie, where Disney Plus should really stop at this point making movies. However, this movie, Christmas Cabin Fever, is admittedly by far one of the stronger movies. Now, when I first heard this was coming out, I was reacting the same as everyone, that this was just going to be another stupid sequel. However, I saw it during Christmas season. I really liked it. It is a short movie. It's just above an hour. Honestly, I believe this would just be another movie on my list that I would have put at the bottom. However, it's dead in the middle, surprisingly, and I probably would recommend this one. Number 22 for me is a very fun one called Merry Little Batman, and that sounds exactly as it is. A Batman animated movie centered around Christmas that knows it's a stupid movie. However, since it knows, it loves to poke fun at itself. It's just a parody of Robin wanting to become Batman. However, his father knows he can't live up to the mantle yet. And it's just a bunch of crazy Christmas fun. Now, since the movie knows to make fun of itself and make jokes, that's what makes this movie fun. It makes it hilarious. The comedy is really well timed, and it really drags it up. This could have been a top 20. However, there are stronger movies on this list, and now it comes in at number 22. I would recommend it as a casual viewing. I'd recommend it if you're a Batman fan, and I'd definitely recommend it as a Christmas movie. 21 for me is Outlaws, a movie starring Adam Devine and Pierce Brosnan. Now, yes, it's another Netflix movie. I know there's a lot of those on my list. However, I'm starting to really like streaming movies rather than cinemas. That is not to be taken out of context. I will forever love cinemas. However, a movie like this is really making me enjoy just sitting at home watching movies. Now, this is just light-hearted fun. It's definitely not for a family kind of friendly thing. However, if you're of an older age, you might enjoy this. The comedy and the banter between cast members is really good. And Nina Dobrev, it's really nice to see her back on the big screen after her taking a break. Adam Devine is always on his A game. Pierce Brosnan is, as always, an awesome actor. I really like this, and I would highly recommend it if you like action, comedy, and thrillers all wrapped into one.